Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to extend our last video where we explored about how we can use the SharePoint Copilot to build out the interactive application. And today we are going to take it one step ahead and we'll be talking about like building out end-to-end application, because last time we just saw like existing SharePoint list, how can that be turned into an interactive dashboard. Today we are going to build one application from scratch that would not require any developer experience or neither like building out any SPFX web parts or Power Apps, but we are going to build that app in simple 4-5 steps. So right now I'm showing you one of the site usage analytics, and this is across all SharePoint sites. And this dashboard has been built with SharePoint Copilot with help of Power Automate, which can actually in turn reads the SharePoint Site Analytics from our MS Graph APIs and is showing the data, live data on this dashboard. So this is a practical example where our SharePoint administrators or maybe management would like to have dashboard where they can see the actual usage of their sites, who all are the unique users. Though like at the site level we have that inbuilt functionality, but that is specific to site only. Here we are building a dashboard which across all SharePoint sites we gets the data, which gets the number of page views, storage assigned, left, active files, active users, everything in one dashboard. So as I said, we'll be building this dashboard in simple 4 steps. One is SharePoint Copilot to auto generate our analytics from SharePoint schema in seconds. Then we will use the administrator account with a delegated user consent so that we can have the data from our MS Graph APIs. And then we will have this Power Automate, which can actually fetch or call this MS Graph API and store the content into SharePoint list. So no complex code, no custom APIs, just pure low code assembly, and we can directly jump into the steps right away. So first thing is like we need to create SharePoint backend list. So I'll just go to my this site content, and over here I've already created this SharePoint list which is for all site usage analytics. But to start from scratch, you can take help of this Copilot. If that is enabled into your environment, then you can just type the expected list name with the proper prompt. For example, create a list name, all site usage analytics, and have the columns in place: site URL, site ID, owner name, report, refresh date, a site is active or deleted, total number of files. All these columns this Copilot would actually use to provision this list. So you can have this provision automatically with Copilot, and once you have the list ready, then you are all set to proceed with the step number 2. So as you can see, like I have this site names and I have multiple others, this owner name, site ID. So if you are not familiar, that just want to tell you that these settings in your current environment would not actually show this site ID and owner name and all these details. This would be redacted by default. So to enable this, we have to go to this your admin center. So this is the admin center, and you can go to this settings in the left panel, click on org settings and click on this reports. So for your tenant, it could be by default this concealed user group and site names in all reports. So you can uncheck this. So this must be checked into your environment. So you need to uncheck this so that this information can be available via Graph APIs, which we are going to pull from Graph API and store that into SharePoint list. So just make sure that you have this configuration ready. Once that is done, then we have to enable the Graph API via delegated user consent. And why that is required: as an administrator, you would like to consent the MS Graph API for site analytics so that it can fetch the data. So in my past multiple videos, we have been registering the app into our Entra ID. So if I open this entra.microsoft.com, so over here we have multiple times registered our app and provided the application permissions to access the different components, different web permissions like SharePoint size, storage, multiple things. But right now for this use case, we are not going to register any app. What we are going to do, we are going to just provide that delegated consent using simple PowerShell, which can be invoked into your environment, which can grant a permission to the administrator delegated account. So why that is required, we'll get to know once we get to this Power Automate step. So before that, I'll just tell you like how you can do it. So I'll share this link into the description where we have this PowerShell. This PowerShell can be directly downloaded and can be run into your environment to grant the consent to the APIs. So I will just open the PowerShell. So this step is nothing related to your actual step of like generating the dashboard, but it's better like your admin account or your administrator should use this delegated permissions so that it can access the MS Graph APIs to get these SharePoint analytics reports. So what we are going to do, we are going to just invoke this script and make sure that you have this PowerShell 7 installed. Then only you would able to run this script. Now you can see like it gave me this auth type that is delegated, and the token credential type is interactive browser. So it will ask the credential into your browser itself. So we will just select the option as select from a list. Once you enter this, so you get these options. So you can choose this global environment and it asks for your credential, and so that you can just provide the credentials which you are signed with. So I'll just select this account, and there is a C option, commonly used apps, A, all apps, and by default is C. So we are going to select this C, enter, and we are going to select this MS Graph. And from here, all the permission set came up. So you can actually search for reports because we are going to read the reports. So you can just click on this reports, allow an app to read all service usage reports, just clicking on OK. So we'll say yes because we are using integrated account. So do you want to delete any of the configurations? So we have over here, it already shows one of the configuration which is there because I already consented for the same thing. So that's why it says auth to permission grant objects already defined, resource ID, it's already there. So I will say no for existing grant because it's asking for deleting. So I'm not deleting, I'm just saying no. And do you want to proceed and create the permission grant? Yes. And this script execution completed successfully, and this user has been granted the rights on the MS Graph for this specific type of permission where we are going to read the reports. From permission perspective, we are all set. Now the step comes for Power Automate. So we'll start with the instant cloud flow, or you can also choose the scheduled cloud flow because we are going to run this report daily. So you can choose this trigger also. So anyone is fine for time being. We'll just choose this manual trigger so that we can run it to test the reports are coming properly or not. So we need not to configure any input right now because we are going to run this manually. So next step is to add an action, and that action we are going to use as HTTP invoke via Microsoft Entra ID because we have already given the consent to our administrator user. So we can directly invoke it without any setting up client ID, client secret, nothing. If we are going to set it that as a app registration, then we are going to use that. But for our this current scenario, because I just want to give you another way of calling the HTTP request without passing the client ID, client secret. So that's why we chose this direction of delegated permissions to a user. So we are going to use this HTTP with Microsoft Entra ID, and over here we'll just specify our method, and then we will choose our connection. There is already one connection. If I open this and if you click on this add new, it will ask for the new connection. So over here you can specify the resource URL. So this resource URL is actually our graph.microsoft.com, and we can click on this sign in. So it will invoke this HTTP call, the owner of this workflow. And once you are done with the connection, then you can specify the method. We are going to do a get method to get this site usage report, and the URL we are going to pass is for MS Graph API tell get SharePoint site usage detail. So this is the URL, and over here you can see like we can specify the period. So days, a number of days the report will fetch, and you can just do this D7 if you just want to fetch the last week's or the latest 7 days report. And once this execution will happen, actually the response would be one CSV file. So we have to read the content of the CSV file, and that is dynamically generated. URL of the CSV file will be generated dynamically. So we need to read that file from another connection or another HTTP call. And this is a normal HTTP call where we are just going to pass the URL of the file which we get from our previous tab, and URL we are going to read from our previous tab. So output of our previous operation, and in headers we will get the location, so that will contain the URL of our CSV file from SharePoint site usage. So you can construct this function and just add it. Method is again get, and we are good. So over here one important thing is, because it will give you a file URL, so just configure this current HTTP where we are going to read the file. Just have this configure run after, instead of just success have this failed also, because it will give the response as 302. Will be failing because of JSON content return, not because of any execution failure. Technically 302 is fine to read the file. So once we get this file, once we read this file, the important part is like how we can read the CSV content. So execution of this HTTP will give us a string which contains the comma separated string, and in next step we are going to get the rows out of that CSV so that those rows can be processed and saved into SharePoint. So we are going to take help of compose action, and where we are going to split the content which we got from this HTTP call into the actual rows. So in functions, we are going to write this split string body HTTP, which is the output of our previous tab. It will split that string using this hidden encoded character, so we can get the rows out of this string body. So now once we say add, and output of this compose action will give us the rows, and which can be in turn used to save into SharePoint. And just before saving into SharePoint, because the first row would be the column header, so we don't need column header. So what we are going to do is we are just filter out that first row. So we'll use this filter array, and in input from we are going to pass the output of previous action, that is output of our split rows, and the name of our previous compose action is split rows, so it will skip first row of that output, and then we can just put one filter condition. So if we get the length or greater than 0, then only we are going to get that array out of it. So we'll use the function as length trim of that item, And if it's greater than 0, then we consider that as a legitimate item. And this item we are going to use while saving it to our SharePoint list. And over here, I'm just going to use one select operation so that we can actually map the values of column which we are getting out of it. So this one is quite a manual task. That's why I have filled it up for the sake of time saving. So over here in this select, which is again a compose action. So we are going to split the item which we got from our previous tab. 0th column of that would be a report refresh state. First column would be site ID. So this, how I get it, actually in between you can, till this time you can run it once so that you can actually see the output. And based on that, you can decide like what columns you are fetching out of your this CSV rows. So I have already pre-populated this one. So I will just update. And if for the sake of just showing you the output, I can run it once and we will just publish it before doing a test run. And there's a connection problem, I'll fix it. So that connection asked me to re-authenticate again. So I did that. So after that, it started working fine. And till this point, we can do a test run. We'll test it manually. See over here, this one failed. If I just select this and go to this output. So in the output, you can see in location, I have this full path of the CSV, the file it generated. But because in response, it did not give any JSON or the valid JSON out of it. So that's why it's saying cannot read server response. The response is not a JSON format. So that's why we kept it as configure run after for this HTTP still if it gets failed. So what this second HTTP does is like it read that CSV, that file path, and got the actual content of our rows. So if I just go to this rows output and I could see the response, so it gave me multiple rows. And the first column is refresh rate. That's why we mapped that first column to our one of the array refresh rate as column 1, then column 2 as site ID, site URL. So that's how you can actually see your response, and based on that you can decide on the array which can be in turn used to save the item into SharePoint list. This array has this first item as this, second is this one. So it properly got all the analytics in detail. Now the next step is just to save that into SharePoint. So I'll just edit this flow again. So now we need to have this apply to each because the previous step's output is an array. So we will just bind that array to our apply to each where we are going to save the values into our SharePoint list. So I will click on apply to each. So this was the array which we got and we'll just add it. And inside this apply to each, we will add one action that is create SharePoint item. And we will establish the SharePoint site connection list. And then we'll start adding the column by column. All site usage is our list, and then we will start adding all the columns. We'll just click on this function and we will map that to the right item. So item is our current iterative item, the current item, and then we'll read the column value from this property and click add. And the same way we are going to just fill all these property. So the same way we are going to fill the values from our current item to all these SharePoint column. And once we fill it, so I filled everything over here, and in these integer columns, if you see, I have just added one more this integer function so that we can get the value out of it. So if it's blank, then it should say 0 instead of failing. So that's why in all the integer columns, we kept these functions. We don't want our Power Automate to break. So once this is done, then we can publish again and we will run this analytics to populate the SharePoint list again. So meanwhile, I have just cleared this existing SharePoint analytics report list, and we will just run this from this new flow. So our flow is running and it's successful, and I can refresh this analytics report list. Now I can see everything is filled with the proper data. So that's okay. Now we can proceed for building out this usage analytics report. And for this one, as we saw in our last video, that we can take help of this Copilot, and we can ask this Copilot or give prompt to this Copilot so that it can build out a beautiful dashboard out of this current SharePoint all usage analytics report. I need to build one fully interactive HTML dashboard for this all site usage analytics list in polished and professional way. It should be interactive. On clicking, should drill down to the inner filters, use charts, bar charts, donut charts, and be creative. So I'm just writing this prompt to it so that it can build out the actual dashboard out of it, and that dashboard can be in turn used by administrator to keep a track of all the SharePoint site uses, or can be shared to the senior leaders so that they can have a look on the actual usage service usage report. So that's how you can build this without writing any SPFX web part or any Power App or any other tool like Power BI. So we'll just wait to get this HTML provision. Yeah, it looks more beautiful right now with a proper donut chart, bubble charts, and then the cards. And we can still interact with this Copilot to make it more professional. So the objective was how we can build the app without writing any custom code or building out SPFX web part without any help of developer by yourself. So we have just built a low code solution. And so it was one of the use case for SharePoint administrator, but there could be many other use cases where you can fit in the same solution, where you can use the Copilot with SharePoint to build out the list, to generate the HTMLs, and then Power Automate to actually write the business process for you and have them integrated so that you can produce a useful application out of it. So that was the core idea. And if you like this video and you find it helpful, then please do subscribe and do like the video. If you have any questions, do drop your comments. I will try to answer. That's it for today. Thank you.